Hello and welcome to Capricorn Makes. I'm Stacy, and today I wanted to share you some of the things that I've been up to this week. I finished a spinning project that I posted on my Instagram, and these are the 4 skeins that I finished. These two, each of these, except for the little one, is a 2-ply, and this is what I call a yarn family, because they are related because they use similar or the same wool to make up some yarns that look quite similar but are in fact different. These 2 yarns have the brighter ply in each of these is it's a bright pink and blue and green. Well, I say bright, it's brighter than the other stuff that's in here, but they are plied with 2 different wools. This one is because I had just some little bits that were sitting around that I thought would unify all of these different colors together, because it was looking kind of strange all spun up on its own. It was just not particularly harmonious. These are quite similar, but you can tell that the top one is just slightly brighter, slightly more vivid. What I plied this one with was it was like forest green and like orchid purple that sort of ran from quite light, almost white, down to very, very saturated in itself. And yeah, it's really, I really like the effect that this had. This one, same stuff that I plied with a more, it was like sort of dusty gray and purple and a little bit of pink and blue, and it toned it down quite a lot more because there was more of a gray tone in these in this fiber than there was in this fiber. So I had quite a bit of that second mix left, the blues and purples, and I plied it with a flat, do I have any of it sitting out? I don't. That's okay. I have sort of this flat dove gray purple concrete color that was all the rage ever ago, and everybody's like, this is such an unflattering color, but it is one of the things that makes my skin look amazing. So I have quite a lot of it, and I snapped it all up when I could because it was very, it's a very flattering color for me. So this is plied with a solid, and as you can see, it's like sort of that shades of dusty purpley concrete that I really, really like. Even though I spun up extra specifically to use that up, I still had just a tiny bit left, and I do this quite a bit, and I just ply it back on itself, and it's not going to focus, but you can see it's quite variegated. And this is a 3-ply because it's just chain plied back on itself, and I'll probably use this for doll clothes. Speaking of doll clothes, I usually have a hand project because my husband likes to hang out on the couch with me and play his handheld games, or we watch YouTube videos or whatever it is that we're doing out on the couch just to hang out with the animals and hang out with each other. But we're usually doing our own projects, which is a lot of fun. It's a really good part of my day. But I try and have what I call a lap project at the time. And this month's lap project has been where'd she go? There they go. Has been thigh-high socks for Blythe. These fit on, I don't have a Lika body, but I suspect these would fit on Lika as well. But they are just simple thigh-high stockings that fit a little bit better than like full panty, panty-waisted, you know what I mean, tights, because there is no bulk around the middle. There's not that extra fabric. They stay up, they bend well, they fit the legs really well, and they fit these bodies just as well as the Sweet Tiger bodies, which are quite chunkier than these are. And I suspect these would also fit some of the taller A-zone, probably at least a medium, possibly the large as well. I haven't tried, but I can't imagine that these would not fit, even though they are shaped. The pattern itself is curved. They're pretty forgiving. I mean, like, these are made out of baby clothes, cast-off baby clothes, so they they stretch quite a bit, except for a couple of pairs that I'm cutting off grain in order to take advantage of a pattern, which this is the example. So this is the way that gives them the most stretch, but I cut them in the other way to get the stripy pair, or the vertical stripes on this one, and these ones don't stretch very well at all. Like, I'm not actually even sure that these will fit on my Sweet Tiger body. But, you know, I will test it, and I do have more of this. If I need to cut a bigger size for that body, I will, because these are really wonderful. So my goal was 20 to 24 pairs of these in over the course of April. Coming up to the end of April, I have quite a few left. Now, I could just sit down at the machine and knock all of these out, but they involve some pretty sharp curves, and they're actually a really soothing hand sewing project that's not, I don't have to think about it, I don't have to, like, I'm not in the middle of a complex thing, so I don't forget where I am. I can always tell when I am, so if I have to get up to interrupt the animals, or if I'm up and down, or I'm doing this, or I'm in the middle of cooking dinner, I can just pick it up and sew. So this is maybe about half of what I've done. I've got 6 pairs here, and another one here. My girls are each wearing a pair, and I've got others scattered around, and then I have, let's see, 2, 4, 6, I have 6 pairs here, still yet to cut, or still yet to sew. The way I do it is I will cut them out, and then I will actually stitch all of the tops, the top parts, so that they are ready to go. Sometimes, if I can, I will use the existing seam from the clothing, but they're not always stretchy. And because I want them to fit various sizes, I need them to stretch at the top, and I like them hand sewn for that purpose better than through the machine, because the hand sewn seam is very, very low bulk, whereas when you're putting more stitching on there, you can just, I don't think you can see, that's all right, there tends to be a lot more bulk up at the top, which sometimes when you get it really stretchy or sometimes it can be really stretchy, which is desirable, but sometimes you get a lot of bulk in that, so that it may fit the Sweet Tiger body quite well, but it will fall down because of the extra bulk on the regular Blythe bodies. So I've got those to go, and I still have my very favorite to cut out. I found this silver fabric in my stash, and it is, it's not holographic, but it's like metallic print on this thick sort of foam, and I have quite a bit of it. I had it for another project. As you can tell, it keeps its creases really badly, so it was not going to work for what I had in mind for it. But for doll clothes, and because it does go away with the stretch, I think it's going to work really well. I'm going to make I have all sorts of things planned with this. I'm going to make some socks. I'm going to make some leggings. I'm going to make some pants. When my MSD comes in, I'm going to make some bigger pants and bigger socks, because this is just, it's too funny. It's really thick though. It almost feels like foam. I think it's just like a double knit jersey, but then it has the, whatever it's printed on, whatever this silver is, it's actually printed, and it's really thick, and it's really, it's just killing me. So I have been spinning more than the other stuff, and I've been spinning this luxury blend, which I don't have the card here. That's okay. It's a whole bunch of luxury bits and bobs. It's possibly one of the strangest things I have ever spun. I don't necessarily care for this sort of fine carded stuff. It's not my favorite preparation to spin from. It's and as I'm spinning, it's shedding like crazy, partially because it's full of it's alpaca, it's angora, it's like various blends. I think there's like 20 different types of fiber in this, and this was one of the first things that I bought when I was spinning, and I'm like, oh, it's too luxury, I can't spin with it. Well, I saw it in there, and I'm like, you know what, I'm really enjoying spinning purple right now, I'll spin some more purple. And this I just end up with like a lap full of like black fibers. I'd have to go in and try and figure out what the black is, but it just doesn't want to stick together at all. It's spinning up really, really, really lovely, but I don't think I've ever had something that sheds nearly as much as this does, which has actually helped me, because my littlest kitten, well, she's not really a kitten anymore, but Nori loves wool. She's not allowed in my studio at all. And when I work out in the lounge, so I end up working out in my lounge area a lot so that I can hang out with the animals, because two of my cats don't do very well in my studio. One, because he likes to chew on things, and he's usually fine. He just normally wants to come in and perch somewhere, but he's really big, so he tends to knock things over. My little gray cat, Sabi, is really good in here. I would have her in here with me quite a bit, because she doesn't get into anything. Like, sometimes she'll lay on stuff, but it's not a big deal. And she's just not destructive. She's a very good studio cat. And then my dog doesn't like it in here. She does not like it in here at all. She doesn't like being in here. If the door is open, she will stand in the doorway and be like, why are you in here? Please come out. So I don't really, unless I'm doing a big, intense project where I'm using the machines, or I'm on the computer, or I'm setting things up on my big table, or going through supplies, I don't tend to be in here when I'm just doing regular work if I don't have to be, because I like hanging out with my animals. But some of this room's purpose is to keep things animal safe. And Nori will get a hold of the wool and take it apart and then just go, ha! And I've been really good. We haven't had an incident in a really long time. Like, the first time that it happened, I had carted up this big fluff, and I walked out of the room. I think I may have had like a courier at the door or something like that. So I went and I got that, and I came back, and it had been less than just a few minutes, and there was fluff from one end of the house to the other, and I was finding it under furniture 6 months later, because she had had such an amazing time with this. So what I have been doing is I've been sealing all of that wool inside of containers and things, so she can't easily get into it if I'm working, because my spinning wheel is out in front of the couch, because it's what I can do while I'm out there. And I usually have the rest of this, not this one, but like I have it, I'll take it and I'll tuck it up, and then I'll tuck it into something so that she can't get it. And she usually is fine, leaves it alone, is not allowed in there on her own. But this particular fiber, because it's been so strange, hasn't wanted to stay in the little thing that I tuck it into, and she got a hold of some, and this is that's like fuzz from our couch, and this is what it looks like. She just gets in there and she just and I heard her earlier yesterday, like, purring under the couch. Purring and purring and purring, which is a little bit odd for her. She's a little bit odd anyway. But then my husband fished this out, because I went to go spin, and I'm like, oh no, my spinning thing is gone. I bet that is what Nori had gotten into earlier in the day. And so this is just full of fluff from underneath the couch, and cat hair and dog hair. I do vacuum quite often, but this was underneath one of the pieces of furniture. Then I don't move the furniture as often to vacuum, because I don't. Yeah, so it's just full of like all of these bits of fluff and grossness, and this is maybe half of what she had gotten into. And I've been slowly picking it out. The problem is there are these like really tiny, minuscule pieces of fluff that, like the rest of it, like the bigger pieces sort of fall out when I'm spinning, which is fine. I end up with like this sort of pile of weirdness underneath me, but just making sure that I'm pulling out the cat hair so that I don't sort of get this halo of cat hair that sticks out of it, and dog hair. And the dog hair usually falls right out because it's too stiff. It doesn't want to stay in, because I'm spinning quite finely. But oh my god, just cat, why? I mean, I usually have like an incident maybe once a month or something like that now, so it's not that big of a deal. But in other news, I was watching Andrea Wilson's at Dolls Ahoy. Is that her channel? No, her channel is Andrea Wilson. She was saying that there's a lace challenge. She has this big suitcase that's full of laces, and she has to be like, And I was like, wow, what a good idea to like take your laces and sort of show them off, and then figure out how you are organizing them a little bit better, because I'm doing doll clothes now. I do feel like I need a better or different organizational system. And all of my laces have gone missing. They've just walked off. I've been in the middle of a big studio rearrange, in which I will do a studio tour as soon as I sort of get everything all sorted for storing doll things. And I just bought 2 big tables. There used to be a loom in here, and it was taller than I was and about the same floor print as a queen size bed, so it was not small, but I broke that down for storage because I was sewing a lot more than I was weaving, and I'm like, you know what, I would prefer to have a project table in here and to have my machines set up all the time. So I do now, and I'm really excited about this change. I have been more productive since I did that than I had really been in the last several years, which is really exciting. I'm really excited about that. So as soon as I get everything in its new home, I'm happy to do a room tour. But also, where has my lace gone? I have no idea where any of these laces have. It's all my lace, it's all my Velcro, it's all my everything. It's like everything, trims, bias tapes. Like, I can't find that bag at all, which I have no idea where it could have gone. I really hope I didn't accidentally throw it out when I was cleaning, because so we'll see how that goes. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you in the next one.